Hello everybody, my name is Jay. I am one of the expert IELTS teachers here at E2 Language. In this live class, we're going to look at IELTS reading. We're going to look at the short answer questions. This is as part of the Super Skills something or other course, I guess. You can find a lot more videos up there on YouTube or within the E2 Language platform, along with practice questions and sample essays and one-on-one tutorials. Lots of cool stuff at e2language.com if you're preparing for your IELTS test or PTE test or any of those scary English language tests. By the way, just before we begin, if you're on YouTube and you haven't clicked the subscribe button, do click the subscribe button down there. Rock and roll, let's get started. We're up to number 11. This is the short answer style questions, which you will find or likely to find in your IELTS reading test. So there are 11 different question types. Let me just explain this task type to you. It's pretty straightforward. It looks like this, right? On the left-hand side, you'll see the text or the passage. On the right-hand side, you will see questions. Look at number 1. It says, what has been found in some fancy foods products, for example. Here, we know we're doing the short answer questions, but there's a little bit to this because we need to read the instruction. This is a critical aspect of this one. It says, choose no more than 3 words and or a number. Now, this specific instruction will appear in multiple different question types. Let's work out what that means precisely because it's not evident. It's a little bit confusing. Let's have a little look at what that might mean. So one word would be the word car, for example. That might be the answer. 2 words might be red car. 3 words would be expensive red car. That might be the answer. 1 word and a number might be 2 cars. 2 words and a number might be 2 red cars. 3 words and a number might be 2 expensive red cars, or you might just have a number like 780,000. Now, just keep in mind that you can include and you should include symbols if they're included in the text. That's what I call a little hint for you, eh? That's a hint. Cool. All right, so that's how the instruction works there. So there's a multiple different variety of possible ways you can answer this question in terms of the instruction. Now you need to write your answers in boxes 1 to 5 on your answer sheet. So your answer sheet might look something like this. 2 aspects, politically correct, more than 100 people, differences, make a point, for example. Now, you need to be careful because, for example, if the answer is differences, but I wrote difference, that would be marked wrong. And here it says more than 100 people. If I wrote 100 people, more than one, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words that would be marked wrong. If I spelt politically with 1 L and it was spelled wrong, that would be marked wrong. Yes, so there's a few little things to keep in mind there. Just keep in mind that you're taking words or phrases directly from the text. Okay, so you don't need to create anything yourself. You're taking it directly from the text. Okay, so if it's spelled, the spelling will be right in the text. So take it from the text and use that. Cool. I think that's all good. Now I haven't got a timer. I'll have to use my watch. Let's do this one. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Hang around to the end because we're going to go through the answers. Your 5 minutes starts now. One minute. That's 2 minutes. That's 3 minutes. Just let me check. Let's see. All right, how are you going there? Maybe another minute. I said 5, but I think 5's too generous. 1 more minute starting now. Ten seconds. All right, how's it going there? How's it going on YouTube? Do you... Okay, looking good, looking good, looking good. All right, let's go through the answers. I'm going to tell you why the answers are the way they are, okay? Cool bananas. Let's have a look at the answers. So, number 1, what has been found in some Fancy Foods products? Well, it says Fancy Foods wishes to inform the public that pieces of metal have been found in some jars, Hopefully you found that pretty easy. Although, hopefully you wrote pieces of metal, not just metal. If you wrote just metal, it would be incorrect. You needed pieces of metal. This brings us to a little bit of a trick with IELTS. Sometimes there'll be like a keyword here is metal, right? But there may be like an adjective or a little phrase like pieces of metal. Make sure you include the additional little details that make that thing specific, because that's what they're asking about, not just metal in general, but pieces of metal. So keep that in mind. Let's do number 2. Where can you find the batch number on the jars? Well, here you can see the keyword. So what we do, how we know how to do this is, let's find a keyword like batch. And then we see the keyword batch and batch repeated again. So we know we're reading in this section here, right? So now we say, where can we find the batch number on the jars? The batches of the jars involved have numbers from The batch number is printed on the bottom of each jar. So you might have 2 possible answers here, bottom of jar or on the bottom. I think they are the 2 possible correct answers there. Hopefully you got one of those. If you have an alternative answer, please let me know and I'll think about whether it's correct. It is possible to have alternative answers too. Let's have a look at number 3. How much will you receive for an opened jar of contaminated chicken curry? Well, here it's talking about how much money you can receive, but the key word here is opened jar. It says Fancy Foods will pay $10 for each jar returned unopened and $5 for each jar already opened. So the answer there is number 3 is $5 with the dollar sign. If you had that, that would be correct. Well done. If you're at $5, that would be correct. If you're at $5, that would also be correct. There's different permutations there. Let's do number 4. If you have eaten chicken curry from a jar with one of the batch numbers listed, whom should you contact? The key word here would be whom, because now we know we're talking about a person, right? And also contact. Who are we going to contact, or whom should you contact? It says here, however, the retailing manager will be interested to hear from people who have consumed chicken curry from any of the above batch numbers. Down here it says, please contact the customer relations manager. But that's with regard to the reward, and that's different. Here it's saying if you've eaten contaminated chicken. So, retailing manager, I'm just worried I've written this incorrectly. Oh, no, I haven't. The retailing manager. So if you had the retailing manager or just retailing manager, either of those is correct. Because it had capital letters here, I think you should use capital letters in your answer. I don't know if you would get it correct if you had lowercase. So just be careful, copy what is in the text. Number 5, what is the maximum, this is the key word here, maximum reward Fancy Foods is offering for information about who contaminated their product? So we got 2 prices here, 10,000 and 50,000, but we're interested in the maximum number. Whoopsie. So the maximum number is 50,000, $50,000, $50,000. They are the answers, my friends. How did you go? What did you get out of 5? Please put it into the chat. Let everybody know how brilliant you are, and you're a genius, and your IQ's like 170. You're like Einstein on steroids. If it's not, if you're like most people and you struggle to do this because it was hard, or that one was pretty straightforward, I think. If you need help, check this website out. You can sign up for free. It's got heaps of practice materials. It's got all the methods in one nice, organized place. Just go to e2language.com and I'll see you soon, or if not, fare thee well.